In this video, the 11th in the IntellisenseX series of videos, I will discuss the plug-in PRGs that were referred to in the third video about using fields from tables. Thor actually provides a number of plug-in PRGs, but only two of these are used by IntelliSense. So what I'm going to start by doing is talk in general about how to manage PRGs, and then later I'll talk about the two that were referenced in the earlier video. To start, we'll go to the Thor menu, and from there we will go to Manage Plugins. And this pop-up screen shows us the list of all the plugins, and the ones that say Edit are ones that I have currently active. The ones that say Create will allow me to create a new one. When I create one, what will happen is that it will take a sample plugin and open a window so that you can modify it, and then when you save it, it will be automatically saved into the correct folder so that Thor can access it. That's in the My Tools folder. Thus, you can get to all your plugin PRGs from here, and you can edit them from here. Let's create one right now. I'm going to create this IntellisenseX plugin, and if I save it, Control W, and go to the command window, when I say modify command, that PRG is in the MRU list of programs, and I can access it from the command window. Now, all of these PRGs, when you say create, will provide you with a sample PRG which will show you the list of parameters. It will discuss the result. It will have sample code. In all cases, you'll have enough information that you can modify that to make it work as you want it to work. There's one important thing that I do need to point out to you about using plug-in PRGs and how they return their result. If I go back to this PRG that I opened earlier, the return statement looks quite odd, but this is because of the way it has to communicate with Thor. Instead of saying return the result, which is LC alias, you have to enclose that within this statement, which makes the result available to Thor. So let's talk about the first plugin PRG that was mentioned in the earlier video, and that is OpenTable. OpenTable is actually used by quite a number of Thor tools, so it's worthwhile to make it work in a way that will fit your environment. If I open this plugin, you'll see that it is called with a file name. This is a plugin where IntellisenseX is trying to open a table. This is the default version, which tries 4 different techniques. It tries to use the table. If a database is open, it looks for the table in the database. If there's an active form and there are aliases in the data environment, it also looks in the MRU list. And in all of these cases, when it's done, if it is able to find and open that file, it returns the alias that it used. That's all it does. You can modify this to open a table any way that fits your environment. The other plugin PRG that is called by IntelliSense is called IntelliSense, and when you open it, you'll see that this is a much more complicated procedure. This is called when IntelliSense has some string, when it's called with some string that IntellisenseX is not able to identify, and it allows you to modify this plugin to refer to whatever you want. One example from the earlier video is that what comes in is the name of a SQL table. And if we go down to the end of the setup section, the first thing that this sample does is it calls another procedure within the PRG to say, is this a table from our SQL table? And if so, it returns a distinguished result, which you can understand if you actually look at this procedure, and then it exits. If it doesn't find a table that's a SQL table, it then continues to check for other possibilities. All of these are samples. They're not supposed to work in your environment. This is something that you can look at and you can modify to fit what will work for you. In the video, for instance, I showed a reference to this particular string, and if that string is found, this program looks for the property cAlias in the form. Having opened it, returns that alias through this statement right here.